We want to move on now to the economy, and I'd like Tony Trujillo to join us. Where are you, Tony? Come forward if you're present.
Coming at you.
Oh, come on out. Sit down right here. Tony Trujillo is a longtime champion of economic development and executive with Freeport, McMoran, Copper, and Gold. Being mic'd right now. Take your time, whatever time you require.
Okay.
Sit down here, sir.
Thank you, Sam.
And the floor is yours for a moment, Tony.
Thank you very much, Sam. And it's quite an honor to be here with both senators tonight, and especially every time I get an opportunity when I'm here with Senator Bingaman, I always have the opportunity to say that we have something in common, and that's that we're both from Silver City.
That is true. I agree.
And quite an honor. And with that, let me mention that I have witnessed firsthand how the senator has balanced the needs of the local communities while trying to promote economic development. Back when Senator Bingaman was newly elected U.S. Senator and a member of the Armed Services Committee, he was approached by Intel, a major employer here in our state, as we all know, to help save the U.S. semiconductor industry as it tried to compete with Japan. He worked with Senate colleagues, industry, and DOD, then under Ronald Reagan's Secretary of Defense, Caspar Weinberger, to create Sematech, which did basic research for participating industries in areas such as clean rooms and chip manufacturing. For 10 years, DOD and industry each contributed $100 million to this effort. This was a very successful cooperative effort and is credited with saving the U.S. semiconductor industry. Without Sematech's advances in high-volume chip manufacturing, Intel could have gone out of business or at least been etched out of its current dominance in the field. Throughout his career, Senator Bingaman consistently voted for supplemental appropriations for job preservation, creation, infrastructure investment, assistance to the unemployed, and state and local fiscal stabilization. He served with the powerful Senate Finance Committee and the subcommittee of the Fiscal Responsibility and Economic Growth. Just to take it back to Southwest New Mexico, Senator Bingaman, with his leadership, and he convened what was called the Southwest New Mexico Energy and Green Jobs Task Force down in our part of the country, which was very, very successful too. These are just a few examples of Senator Bingaman's foresight in leveraging business and government to help support a healthy national economy. I look forward to hearing more from the senators on economic policy and job creation in New Mexico and America.
Thank you. Economic policy. Let's start here. The Fed says we're slowly recovering, and in fact, if that continues, it may stop its excessive bolstering of the economy next year. And of course, the stock market's seeing that they might be weaned from the mother's milk, have gone nuts. How dare we do this? If each of you, and I've just come down the line, starting with Senator Bingaman, could wave a magic wand, what's the one thing that we need most at the moment to get states like New Mexico, which is still lagging behind on job creation, going again and get our economy in this country, as well as this state, thriving? What's the thing? What's the thing?
Well, I'd love to give you a 25-word solution to our economic problems.
Take 50.
Yeah, 50 words.
Whatever.
100. Yeah.
100.
I don't think there is a quick fix to the economic problems that we face. I think we've got to do a lot on a lot of different fronts in order to get our economy strong again. I think some of those things are happening. I think we're beginning to see the deficit come down. It needs to come down more. We need to reform the tax code at the federal level. That will help without a doubt. We need to strengthen our investment in a lot of different areas, some of the ones that Tony was talking about in his comments. But there's no quick fix that I'm aware of that is going to jumpstart the economy. Maybe Pete's got an answer to that. If he does, I'm anxious to hear it.
Do you think we're coming up? Do you agree?
Yeah, I think the economy is strengthening, but it's strengthening slowly. And I think the You know, there's a very good article in the New York Times about a week ago, quoting a lot of different economists, talking about how over the next decade or so, the economy in this country, they're now predicting, will strengthen substantially more than they had earlier thought it would because of the natural gas that will help us to keep the price of energy down, because of the opportunities that the internet give us to strengthen education in the country. We're beginning to find ways to do that through these MOOC courses, these MOOCs that are being used to some extent here at UNM and other universities in the state. So there are things in the works that people are saying will help us to strengthen the economy, but it's not going to be overnight.
Senator Domenici, anything we can do to hasten the recovery?
Well, first, I'm afraid I'm going to get through this evening without saying how happy I am to be here because I've been invited to be here in his behalf. We've become very good friends. I wish I was back in the state instead of working for a think tank, which I thoroughly enjoy and have a lot of fun at. And by the way, so you get it straight, they do pay me. I'm not working for free for the think tank, nor am I working for as cheap as I did when I was a senator. So, but those days of hiring me for cheap labor are gone. The 2 years I've got left anyway, they'll either take it the new way or just leave it. So far it's working pretty well. My wife's doing splendidly, and my daughter Claire's not doing too well, but I'm not supposed to talk about that for her sake. Look, here's the way I put it. First of all, we had a very, very lucky thing happen to us. And I have a good time here to look out at New Mexico and say, please, don't be part of an organized effort to defeat our use of shale to produce new natural gas and crude oil. Before you join some group that says, no, we don't want to do that, and look, we have been given an abundance of energy for the next 30 years. Unless you think we don't need natural gas and crude oil, we've got it. What we've got to do is develop it and use it properly.
I think everyone would agree with you, but energy comes next.
No, well, listen, it doesn't.
See, if you could give us something else other than energy, I don't know what I'm going to ask you when it gets to the energy section.
Look, Sam,
come on.
The truth of the matter is that two things are related to our economic growth.
Yes, I agree.
One of them is energy, and we're lucky we're going to have energy coming our way. So one of the big things we had to solve is getting solved. And right up there in the Farmington area is a huge underground pond that's been diagnosed to be shale. We don't know if it's crude oil. Imagine, we're finding crude oil in the shale, not natural gas.
Find water.
And water, yeah, but so what? Water we find all the time.
Oh, yeah? Bring it to me.
Well, we just can't use it. It's still there, plenty of water. Let me tell you, the second thing we got to do...
Is there anything other than energy, Senator?
He's talked about it. He's talked about it. There's no doubt in this senator's mind that the imbalance in our budget and the debt, not the deficit, but the debt, which is the cumulative of all these years of running debts, that is holding down the American economy, and sooner or later we will either suffer irreparable harm or we'll fix it. And if we fix it, we will fix health care. And I must say, it's got to be fixed.
Well, I thought you'd get to your commission where you suggested a balanced approach to trying to revive our economy with raising some revenue, cutting some expenses.
But I don't want to take any more time. I can tell you, we have a plan. It's in there on...
Well, I want to hear more about it when we get to energy. I want to hear about this plan for the economy.
We'll tell you anything you want to know, but you don't already know, I'll tell you.
I don't know much. Tony, Senator, by the way, while Tony's talking, your microphone has slipped. If you could bring it up, because we have people in the overflow room, and it's very difficult to hear.
Oh, this little one.
Yeah, it slipped down. Sir, the floor is yours. What do we do?
Only, there's no question that both senators are correct. I think we have to have the confidence in the economy that there's improvement, and it's all about jobs, creating those jobs once the economy starts improving, which I agree. I think it's headed in that direction.
So all three of you are optimistic about we're coming out of this terrible recession we've been having? Okay.
I'd say we're going to come out in a very mild recovery. Not going to be good enough to put the people to work, but it'll stay positive, giving us some more time. If the president wanted to lead this one, he'd be shocked. If he would lead the Congress and lead the people, we would fix the budget under his leadership before he left office. No question about it. Anxiously waiting for him to do it. Everybody is.
Okay, gentlemen. Thank you, Tony, for joining us here.